I've been kind of binge Amazoning, and I've been getting a lot of packages in the mail lately, and I never get packages. I'm pretty sure my grandparents think I'm building a bomb. You know that satisfaction you get when you are the only one to get a reference or a joke, aside from like one or two other people? I love it when that happens. Granted, the majority of my life is that, the other person being me, but we're not talking about that. Now, as far as movies go, I feel like those instances are few and far between, for me anyway. I've had two such instances off the top of my head, both relatively as a child. First one, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Backstory. My grandparents live in a house that is not terribly conducive to company, least of all children. And when I was a kid, there was very little to do when we came to visit. So we were mainly reduced to watching movies that we had brought ourselves, because they had hardly any movies of their own. But somehow, somewhere, they managed to acquire this copy of Watership Down, the movie. I have not read the book. And I am almost positive that someone had to have left it here by accident, because that movie is crazy. I mean, my mom did what any other mom would do. She looked at the box, oh, a nice cartoon about rabbits. Go ahead, kids, knock yourselves out. And I was a very sick child. I still am, so I had no problems with it. But looking back on it, I was like, yeah, you might have screened our options a little better, Mom. I actually think I saw that movie multiple times while it was here in the house. Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. We were looking forward to this movie with breathless anticipation. I mean, Wallace and Gromit was the thing. It took literally years to make. We followed it the whole way. It was a big deal when we went to go see it in the theaters. And it was wonderful, of course. It was everything we could have dreamed it to be. And I remember it was me and my brother and our parents and a couple other people, I think. And the theater was packed, of course, mostly with children. And the moment I'm referring to is right after the part where they have the giant mechanical girl rabbit on the top of the van and they have to stop the car because the head fell off, so Wallace goes back behind to get the head, leaving Gromit in the car by himself. So Gromit turns on the radio and what should be playing but the theme to Watership Down, Bright Eyes. And the moment is just glorious, and me and my brother start laughing, and then I realize that nobody else is laughing. The theater is dead, and even the people with us were looking at us. And somehow that just made it better, and I started laughing harder. And I think it's that childish arrogance that kind of pushes it a little bit and makes it even better. And that experience was just pure and unadulterated, and it was pretty awesome. The other one isn't quite as flawless, but it was still pretty great at the time. It was the movie Madagascar, and it's DreamWorks, so you know it's going to have satire and references and homages and what have you. I had gone with an aunt. She was taking me and my brother and a couple of our cousins who were all younger, and I enjoyed that movie. I mean, I was 13. But when the lemurs are all in their meeting and hell breaks loose and the one pulls out the book that says to serve lemur, I just lost it. It was fantastic, because we basically came out of the womb watching Twilight Zone. And unlike the first time, I immediately realized the significance of this. I was aware of the fact that probably 95% of this audience was under the age of 12. And just the fact that not only was the joke funny, but none of these people had any idea what he was talking about. That's what went through my mind at the time. I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of adults there who got that reference. But at the time, I knew my little cousins could not have fathomed what he meant by screaming, "It's a cookbook." It just kind of makes you feel kind of good, you know? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you had an experience like that before? Leave me a comment, let me know. I do wonder if it's just an obnoxious kid thing, or if everyone's like this. Sick child, sick child. Okay, I'm out.